Got dreams of being a professional podcaster, but have no idea what you're doing?
This is impossible.
That's about to change.
A new kind of school.
Welcome to the Pod School Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the show. Today I've got a question from Damien who said, I want to start a podcast, but I don't feel ready. Should I just start? Yep. As long as you've done your due diligence around, is there an audience for this podcast that would find this content valuable? Have I nailed my idea in the way that this is going to be a show that is going to give something to someone? I think often people jump into podcasting because they want to say a certain thing, they want to do something, but they haven't really thought about, is this providing value for anybody other than me? And I think as long as you've done that work and you've hit on something that you feel like, no, this is really good, I'm passionate about it, it's got legs, that's a big thing. You have to have done the work to work out, does this show have the kind of content breadth that means that I'm going to be able to do a show every single week ongoing, if that's what you're going to do. If this show is going to be always on and you want to grow audience, and that's important if you want to grow audience, that it needs to drop every week, then the show has to have enough content in it to be able to deliver that. So as long as those kind of elements are there, then yes, I think we all get stuck. I am guilty of this too, in analysis by paralysis, or whatever it is, paralysis by analysis, and also in that perfectionism trap where we're thinking, okay, I just need this to be perfect. I've been guilty of it a lot. I think particularly because I do this for a living. Sometimes, if I'm doing my own personal projects, I don't have time in my life, nor do I have the proper studio set up at home that I would have in the businesses that I work at, to kind of just sit down and press go and then have somebody else edit it for me, record it for me, do everything else for me. So I can get really stuck in, maybe I shouldn't do this because it's not going to look as shiny as it should look because I teach this for a living and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, I'm just like, listen, I know that the content is strong. There's an audience for it. People need this and are asking these kind of questions. Let me just get this thing out, and do what I can do. So I think it's really important. Like, I do this, I've done this for 20 years and I still think this way. So if you are just starting out, heaven forbid, you could get stuck in that paralysis forever. So starting and understanding that you will get better over time. You will improve your show. You will improve your presenting. You will grow your audience. It also takes a long time to find your people, to find the people that want to listen to your show. You might be sharing episodes for months, maybe years, until you get to a level where you're like, okay, this is an audience I'm comfortable with. I know some of the people that come through my podcasting course, Pod School, I will often have emails of like, I think I'm not doing it right. Like, this is only the number of people that are turning up. And I'm like, you are doing it right. Like, you don't have an audience elsewhere. You're building this from scratch. Like, these people will come, but it does not come in 2 weeks just because you've pressed publish. You have to maintain that consistency and keep on going. And I think the only way to get to those sizable audience numbers is to start. You have to be chipping away at it. You are never going to have a successful podcast if you do not get that podcast out. And all of the work that you do in the back end to kind of make sure it's perfect or whatever, none of that really matters, because the only thing that generates audience is publishing. So even if you're live and your show's going live, that's why I always suggest a weekly publishing cadence if you want to grow audience, because even fortnightly is tough, monthly is even tougher. The more frequent you can be, the more likely you will build audience, because there's constantly something to check out. And over the years, I've tried all manner of different ways of releasing shows. I've tried to drop everything in one go in a batch to see if that kind of worked. And it was actually a really big spike at the beginning. And then it's really hard to get people to come and check out episodes. The audience doesn't grow like it does when you just drop an episode every single week. So that's really the most important thing, to get into that cadence, to start that rhythm, to start releasing episodes, and to start to find the people that like your show, to start to get feedback, to see what they like, to change things if they don't like things, to ask them for their thoughts. You can't do any of that until you press publish on something. And it's fine to go before you feel ready, because I don't think anybody ever feels ready. Like I said, I've done this 50 million times. I still don't feel ready some days. And I'm like, I'm just going to get this out. So if you want to do this, if you've got an idea you're passionate about, if you know this is going to be valuable for an audience, just get going. If you want some help, you can head to the description of the episode. I've got a whole bunch of ways to work with me, including my online podcasting course. There are ways to get the skills and the tools that you need. But getting started is one of the biggest hurdles for sure. And I think some of that pre-work that you want to do to make sure you've got your idea right will lessen the chances of this not being the success, because you will be doing something that's had some of that work put into it beforehand. Again, that doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to have asked 50,000 people if this is the right thing to be doing. Ultimately, you just need to have given it thought. And sometimes this is a gut feel. Even if you don't do it a lot, when you hit on the right idea and you're really thinking about your audience, you really know. You're like, okay, this is it. I think this is the way. And use your family and friends, get their opinion, get their thoughts. Think, does this hit the, mark for you? Would you be interested in this? Do you think this is interesting? And get some of that feedback, and then just go. Just get started. You just never know what this is going to be until you've pressed publish on your first episode. So go. Get to it. Get at it. You have my permission, Let's not get stuck trying to be perfect, because none of us are, and none of us are ever going to be. And you don't want to be just sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting for perfection to come around the corner, because I tell you, we'll all be dead before it comes. It's never coming. So hopefully that has given you the confidence to get going. Didn't mean to talk about death at the end there. Sorry about that. As I said in the description of the episode, there are a whole bunch of ways to work with me where I can help you out. But yeah, I think with these things, if you've got a passion for something and you've got something in you, and it's accessible and doable, like you can get this tech, you can get it set up, you can get something out in the world. This wasn't possible for people 20 years ago or 25 years ago, So it's really just so exciting to be able to do this. And if you've got a great idea, it will resonate with people. You'll find your audience. So get going. Fingers crossed. I hope it's a success for you. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next week. Of course, if you've got a question, just head to the description of the episode and you can drop it in there, as I'd love to answer it and get you going on your podcast too. All right. See ya.
That's all for today.